Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Yeah, welcome back to Going in Rock. Just check my hair there. Oh, you do the intro while I check my hair.
Hey, friendos. Welcome to Going in Raw Countout,
the
the
hell
only
is this?
wrestling-themed top 10 show here at youtube.com/Steven Larson and anywhere the podcast Going in Raw is found, including CastBox. We've got a great partnership with CastBox. It's a great app.
It's great.
Check it out.
Absolutely.
It'll also be found on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steven Larson.
Yes.
All sorts of great contribution tiers. Awesome reward associated with each tier.
Yes.
Steve, give me a tier.
$5.
$5. What do you get for $5? You get to watch us stream our Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live NXT recaps.
Yep.
Submit questions.
You could win a prize at Chat Trivia every Wednesday.
Yeah.
And you get access to the Going in Raw Discord group.
Correct.
That's a $1. But you get everything $5 and below, which is the $1.
$1.
You're supposed to get a shout out too. I have not done that for a couple months now, but I'm determined.
Should we do a whole program of strictly shout outs?
I know we should just do like Going in Raw shout outs to everybody. See what kind of numbers that'll do. I don't know. I think the point is to have your shout out on show. So
would be on. Okay, I get your point. Also, we're on Pro Wrestling Tees. You can find I Find It Funny. Shirt Steve's wearing right there.
I find it funny
as
that somebody made a
well
shirt.
as several other outstanding shirts. Steven Larson's Going in Raw, Pro Wrestling Tees, shop prowrestlingtees.com/Going in Raw.
Look at you. You're becoming an expert at the intro, my friend.
Well, I do it once a week, so I should be getting better.
Well, you should be getting better. Anyways, this is, so we're doing 2 videos again today this week. Countout. Now, there has been some speculation,
Some debate.
over this idea that the WWE front office, the brass, if you will, have been figuring out whether they want Roman Reigns to be top face of company,
The guy.
or if they
Or
want Braun Strowman
To be the guy.
And how do you define the guy, Larson?
Well, he's the gentleman, if we're talking about the guy.
Yeah.
Who will make media appearances.
Yes.
Has that crossover mainstream potential.
Yes.
To bring new eyes to the WWE product, new bodies to fill seats at WWE shows, and is generally speaking is the one wrestler you can build the company around for years to come.
Give me some examples of previous the guys.
Well, there's still a previous the guy working for the company at times by the name of John Cena.
Boom.
He's been the guy since about 2005 or 2006. He has probably had the longest run as the guy.
Yeah.
Prior to him, of course, we've had Bruno.
Yes.
Just the WWE or WWF we're talking about.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Correct. Those are those.
Currently, at times, The Rock.
And we're going to talk about that a little
But
bit
they've
later.
also attempts to build up wrestlers as the guy who didn't always pan out, like Diesel. Diesel had a year-long title run, but it was a downtime for the entire industry.
Yeah. Kind of interesting that the guy, the coronation of the guy, has to go through another guy who kind of straddles the line between the guy and not really the guy, Brock Lesnar. His media appearances come in the form of, like, whenever he's on ESPN, when he does his UFC stuff.
Fights, yes.
Exactly, yeah. So, like, he's a variation of the guy, but what you said is correct. Basically, they're looking for who's going to be the next John Cena, who's going to be the next guy who we can put out there as the guy. So we decided to take a look at both sides of the coin. This episode, we're going to take a look at 10 reasons why Roman Reigns should be the guy.
Wow.
I know, that's huge. A lot of people are going to be immediately doing comments, no, he's garbage. Yeah. On the same token, here's what we're going to do. The same token, we're also going to do a video that's up right now, 10 reasons why Braun Strowman should be the face of the WWE, why he should be the guy, and whichever one gets more views, that's the answer.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah. But perhaps this video here about Roman Reigns may sway some who are not on board with Roman Reigns being
the guy.
Let's get started, Steve.
All right. Number 10. He's got a great look. Look at that face. Look at those eyes, Larson.
He's got a good smile.
He's so dreamy.
He's a handsome man.
He's a good-looking guy. Look, all joking aside, Roman Reigns does have a fantastic look. I can understand if that is one of the biggest appeals of him with Vince McMahon. I can totally understand. You take one look at that guy and he screams superstar. He really does.
Yeah. And beyond just, his obvious handsome features, he's not the most outwardly personable wrestler on the roster, but the way he carries himself, you can't help but look at him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Call that magnetism, call it charisma, call it what you will. But when he's in the ring, there's something special there.
Absolutely, yeah. It's difficult to get away from him having that look. What?
Never mind.
When you do it, was that a Boogie Nights thing?
Yeah, unintentional.
Oh man. He look, the guy looks like a superstar. It'd actually be kind of weird for him to get like a D push or something, because it's like, man, you look like a star. Why aren't you the guy?
Yeah, why aren't you a star? You look like a star.
You should be.
You carry yourself like a star. You should be a star.
Exactly.
Why are you not a star, Roman?
Am I Roman in this situation?
Sure.
Okay. Big dog sometimes doesn't. I don't know why.
Has your yard gotten smaller?
My yard got really small. I'm in the doghouse. Number 9.
9.
He's a good wrestler. I know
He
right
is.
now. Wait, do you hear that? Oh, people are clicking at their typewriters right now. Click, 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 click. Or they're like, no, he's garbage wrestler. No, he's actually a really good wrestler.
He can put on really, really good to great matches depending on his opponent. He's not, for example, in this picture that's still up here, he's taking on AJ Styles. His matches with AJ, you need to get off the picture.
Okay, yeah.
Matches with AJ were phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's because AJ is a phenomenal wrestler. AJ can bring just about anybody up to a really, really good match. Roman's not quite there yet. He's not in the elite class.
Few people are.
Yes.
Few people are.
Like AJ Styles, like Okada, like Kenny Omega, who, generally speaking, can bring anybody to a really good match. But put him in there with a good opponent, he can deliver. Even his match against Jason Jordan on Raw, outstanding. Most of his matches when he was the Intercontinental Champion, every week they'd put him in the ring with someone that was a good wrestler, and he would deliver.
Yeah. He's also super athletic. Like, he does that crap where he flies out of the ring, and it's very impressive to see a guy that size who looks as good as he does do something so athletic. I'll make this comparison here, and it might be unfair, it might not be, I don't know. Stone Cold Steve Austin debuted in 1990-ish.
Yeah,
That's
early 90s.
sort of when his career kicked off. By the time 8 years later, he was the top draw in the history of wrestling. That's where the WWE would have liked Roman to have been at this point. Because he debuted in 2010.
Yeah.
So 8 years later, after his debut, they would like him to be at that point. I think he actually could have been at that point. We'll get to that later on in the list when we talk about creative. If you look at where both of them were in terms of their wrestling ability, granted, in 1997, Stone Cold was dropped on his head by Owen Hart.
Yes.
And that forced him change his style. I would argue that in some aspects, Roman Reigns is a better wrestler at this point in his career than Stone Cold was at this point in his career. Case could be made. I didn't see Stone Cold Steve Austin doing planches out the ring. So, but no, he's a good wrestler. Like you said, he isn't going to be bringing anybody to a 5-star match.
But he could be brought to a 5-star match.
He could probably participate in a 5-star match. So yeah, I think he's actually a really good wrestler. He's at least good enough to be top guy in the company. Yeah, because you don't have to be that great.
He's definitely better than Hogan was.
Oh my God!
Definitely better than Diesel was.
By far, yeah.
Definitely better than a lot of other wrestlers Vince tried to make the guy.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But he hasn't yet found the key to becoming a great wrestler, and maybe he never will.
And maybe he never will. I mean,
he's only been wrestling for what, 8 years?
Mm-hmm, yeah. He's good enough that he could be it. Number 8.
8.
He sells merchandise. Look at that.
That's a great sweater.
Look at that Christmas sweater right there on Roman Reigns. He looks fantastic.
He sells merch. Depending on who he's feuding with at the time, I think I think Braun recently mentioned during his appearance on the Sam Roberts podcast that Braun's feud with Roman was putting butts in seats in house shows across this country. He is one of the top merch sellers within at least the top 10.
I meant to do a Google shopping analytics search. You don't have to do that. But, and like compare him with AJ Styles, compare him with Brock Lesnar, compare him with Seth Rollins maybe, and see where he stacks up. But even anecdotally speaking, we've been to our fair share of WWE shows recently.
Yeah.
Plenty of people wear his merch. I'm sure, number one, his merch is not that great looking, but
No.
I really doubt he would be at in sort of the position he's in. That's like sort of a big indicator for them. Like if his merch sold like garbage, they'd probably think, well, yeah, maybe this isn't the greatest idea.
Yeah.
But even anecdotally speaking, you see like tons of people have his stuff on at the shows.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we've, heard in the past that he's a decent merch seller.
I've heard before that.
Maybe not at the level of like Cena.
No, it's a level Cena. Like whoever is here.
Oh, no. Oh, that makes sense.
We go to the superstars and hover over it. You have 8 superstars that pop up. Mm-hmm. And I've heard, I think from Meltzer or someone else, that it's not exactly the top 8 in order.
Yeah.
But these are 8 of the best selling
and Rusev's in there.
superstars,
And that's kind of how you know that might be the algorithm there.
Yes. So
because why else would,
exactly. So top, number 1, Cena. Then you have Rollins. Then you have Reigns. Then Rusev. Then Finn, Ronda Rousey, AJ, and then Alexa Bliss.
That all kind of makes sense. So that Bruno shirt is nice.
Bruno shirt is fantastic.
It's a really nice looking shirt. Man. Anyways. So yeah, he makes the company money, man. That's what he does. Number 7. The roster likes him.
Yeah, he seems to be really well liked backstage. We've heard before that he's kind of taken over.
Hold on a second.
What?
Because I got to get rid of this picture to look at us. Look at this picture right here. Braun, Heath, Broken Matt, Curtis Axel, Roman, and Titus. All just having a pleasant day. I think this is right in the middle of Roman and Braun's massive feud.
Yeah, that's the picture that got them in trouble, or Titus in trouble for taking the picture.
There's been a
or
couple.
Posting it, sorry.
There's been a couple instances. Seth Rollins has spoken very highly of Roman being a locker room leader.
Yeah, he's kind of taken the Undertaker role as locker room leader.
Very recently, Braun Strowman said the same thing. Said, I learn a lot from Roman Reigns. He really enjoyed that feud because he got to learn a lot. Everybody speaks very high, especially after his drug test bust, his violation of the wellness policy
violation. Yes.
I remember that's when Seth stepped up and said, this dude leads by example. Everybody looks up to him in the locker room. I don't think that's him blowing smoke up Roman's butt. I think that we would have heard, because, things leak out. Like, when everybody hated Enzo in the locker room, that seemed to be kind of the case.
Who was the one that threw him off the bus or locker room? Roman Reigns.
Exactly. So, what's not to like about that? Yeah, people like him. And if people like him, then, then things are going to be, if you have a positive presence at the top of the roster, setting the good example.
You're going to be afforded opportunities.
You're going to be afforded opportunities. And that's something, that's a quality that I would think the people in the front office would appreciate.
Yes.
More incentive to keep you there. Product is better if everybody's happy.
Yes.
Number 6.
6.
He can handle the pressure. Do you know where this picture's from?
That's from the Raw After Mania last year, wasn't it?
We were there, and that was an insane building. People in unison chanting F words at him.
Yeah.
Rude things.
For a good 10 minutes, just saying rude thing upon rude thing upon rude thing, and he stood there and he took it like he has for the last 4 years. The amount of pressure he is under to deliver consistently with, depending on the audience, 50 to 80% of the people booing him, hurling insults his way. That can't be easy. That would have to wear on a person. And we haven't heard any stories of him blowing his cool.
No.
He seems to be handling it all in stride.
Yes.
And taking the pressure and taking on the responsibility of trying to be the top guy.
We've seen he's been saddled with, number 1, main eventing WrestleMania 4 years in a row, retiring, The Undertaker, and, like you said, being the top spot guy for a very long time now in the face of, varying levels of scorn from the audience. I don't know of anybody else really in modern history it's a very unique situation with him. It's very strange for such a prolonged period of time, the same guy coming out having to endure all this abuse
I know
from fans who are not happy with his placement. And it's it's their place to say what they want. They're fans. They pay for their ticket, as far as I'm concerned. As long as they're not trying to steal the show, by all means, boo the guy, cheer the guy, do whatever you want to do. But to be able to withstand that and to continually put in consistent performances, regardless of what you may think of the performances themselves, they are relatively consistent.
Yeah.
To do that, I would think that is a key qualification. I think back to when The Rock used to come out and people would chant "Die, Rocky, die," and that guy just absorbed all that, and then he turned into a massive face turn, and then another heel turn, and then a face
then a
turn.
massive face, another heel turn, then finally a face turn. He's the most well-paid actor in America.
Yep, exactly. In the world.
Oh, the world. Sorry.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think there's somebody else, another actor out there, maybe in like Bollywood or something, gets more than $60 million a year.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. Michael Caine, the British
I know who he is.
Film scene is massively. They just dole out huge paychecks.
Probably not.
Probably not. Anyways, moving on. Number 5.
5.
Braun and Roman. Could they be co-faces?
So you're thinking a Rock Stone Cold type situation.
It worked in the
feud
90s.
That spans several years. We already saw how awesome their feud was last year, and they weren't really fighting over anything.
Yeah.
Introduce the Universal title into that.
Yeah.
Have them feud for that belt on and off for the better part of 2-3 years. They can each carry it for a while, maybe multiple times. Other people can carry it during the length of the feud, but that might be a way to give both Braun and Roman opportunities to be face of the company, depending who has the title, and then the other person can win it. They can be face of the company for a while and just trade off.
Think Hulk Hogan, Macho Man.
That's another good example.
Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
All sorts of instances, and of course Stone Cold and The Rock. Arguably, you could say Cena,
Edge
or Orton, something like
Yeah.
that. But Cena was kind of a guy on his own. But there are, many examples of guys, and that way you're giving the fans, you could possibly be doing a couple things there. If you pump the brakes on Roman a little bit and let Braun take over in the driver's seat, that'll take away the sort of Roman fatigue that I think a lot of people are feeling right now.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then he could have a chance to thrive because people may, if you put him into some creative storylines that don't have so much pressure on them because Braun is carrying that pressure when he has the title, then it'll give Roman some time and room to breathe, and people can come back around on him because the creative isn't so pressured into shoehorning him into this role that they want him in.
Yeah, and also having him out of the main event scene for a little bit would give creative an opportunity to maybe make some tweaks with the character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we kind of saw that back when he got punished and got that United States Championship. The pressure was off a little bit, even though the air of inevitability
was still there,
was still around. But it was a shock when, hey, Finn won, and Finn and Seth had that great SummerSlam match for the Universal Championship. I don't remember what Roman did that year.
He and Rusev had a fight at that SummerSlam, but the match never got started.
Oh, yeah. Well, they can't all be winners.
No.
Number 4.
4.
Oh, by the way, I think this is a likely scenario.
Could be.
This would not surprise me.
Wouldn't surprise me, no.
Yeah. Number 4.
4.
He's got more experience than Braun Strowman.
That's
Since
true.
we're putting both of these men sort of side by side, Roman does have more experience than Braun Strowman. He got started back in 2010. Look at that. Roman Reigns debuts tonight on NXT. What a weird looking picture of Roman right there. But anyways, he does have more experience than Braun. Braun is still pretty fresh. He's still learning. Looks like he debuted in 2014.
Yeah, he started training in 2013.
Yeah. Granted, he's a fast learner. He's taken to it very quickly.
Yeah.
But Roman Reigns does have seniority. Braun Strowman is still learning. He openly admitted to he openly admits to that it's still a process for him. In my eyes, he can kind of do no wrong, but there's all the room for him to continue to grow and grow his veteran presence both outside the ring and inside the ring. Roman does have the experience edge over Braun Strowman.
He does, and not only just in terms of years wrestling, in terms of high-profile matches, high-profile situations.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, as you said earlier, Roman has main evented 4 WrestleManias in a row.
He main evented against Brock this year while Braun was tag teaming with a child.
Yeah.
And that's not it's not the dog Braun. That's what he was told to do, and he killed it. He kills it every time he's asked to do something. But that's a fun, goofy role. That's being the fun weekend dad. Roman is meanwhile, the single mom, taking care of the kids during the week, doing the hard day-to-day work.
Yeah.
Whereas Braun gets to be fun dad on the weekends.
Don't know if that analogy is.
I think it's a very sound analogy, actually, now that I think more and more about it.
All right.
I mean, I'm not a child of divorce, but,
I'm not either. I don't know.
My stepkids are. So.
Oh.
Anyways, now everybody does very hard work. But yeah, there's something to be said for experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Number 3. It's creative's fault anyways.
Partially.
I kind of think it is.
Well, you
for
have
the
this picture
most part.
here of Vince with Roman, and when they were really starting Reigns' solo push leading up to WrestleMania 31, we heard it was Vince writing Roman's promos.
Yeah.
And they were horrendous.
Dude, talking about shooting the guy in the leg.
Oh, yeah. And then Roman got a hernia, and it seemed to benefit him because once he came back from the injury, there was no more of that suffering succotash stuff.
Oh, the suffering succotash.
All that stuff that Vince was apparently writing for him.
It was so bad.
It was bad. See, but it seemed like with every step forward, there was that time in Philadelphia when he punched Vince McMahon, beat Sheamus for the title, and a Philadelphia crowd, which just a matter of months earlier at the Royal Rumble booed him out of the building, cheered for his win.
Yeah.
It seemed like, all right, yeah, they're on the right track. And then
Yeah.
a matter of a couple weeks later, he was fading to the background again while Dean Ambrose was the one trying to get Roman over.
Yeah.
There seems to be a lack of vision in terms of what they want to do with him, whether he's going to be a tough guy who takes no BS from anybody, or if he's a chill dude.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it seems week to week, segment to segment even.
Yes.
It changes.
Yes, exactly.
If Creative and Roman could just find a character and stick to it, see it through, find a vision where the character's arc is going to be leading him to his eventual coronation as top guy, it could have worked.
Yeah.
By and large, there's been none of that.
No, exactly, and that's why I actually put a lot of it squarely at the feet of creative. If they're saying, yeah, saunter on down to the ring, deliver a couple lines where you're not entirely inspired. I don't know if he's given material that's not inspired in the least, and it's not even that it's not inspired, it's not even consistent.
Yeah.
Then, he does what he can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you take a look at that Raw after Mania from last year, very simple, very simple.
Oh, that was fantastic.
You're going to go out there to this course of extremely weird mixed response, a lot of boos probably. You're going to boot out of the building, milk it for all you can, go down there. And you can kind of see that scenario playing out backstage. Listen, this crowd is going to be so against you. They're going to be really into this. And all you got to do, this is my yard now. You drop the mic and you walk away. That's an inspired moment.
Yes.
And you and I both saw a Roman Reigns who relished that moment. And he was eating up those applauses. And then he dropped that line, threw down the mic.
There wasn't any applause. It was all boos.
I'm sorry, all the boos, the reaction, the crowd reaction is what I was getting at. And he walked away. An inspired moment. Whereas most of the time, he just saunters out there, says a couple of uninspired lines, and then saunters back out. Nobody's back there saying, listen, sense of direction, sense of purpose, blah, blah, blah. It's obvious that they're not doing that.
Yeah.
Because if they were, and he was sauntering out there, he would be... They wouldn't be putting him in a top guy position.
Yeah.
Because he's a guy who can't listen to direction. And I refuse to believe they're going to have a guy who can't listen to direction for 3 years in a row.
I know. Be top guy.
Be top guy.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on. Two.
Two. He's been over before. You just mentioned this. This is Roman Reigns when he won that title. I think like off of Sheamus or whatever.
Yeah, that Raw in Philadelphia, beginning of 2016, I think.
Something like that.
Or into 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, he that's probably the largest pop he's ever going to get in his career. Unless they really turn things around for him. Go back to, was it Royal Rumble 2014, the one that Batista won? Mm-hmm. The Rumble where Reigns eliminated 12 people.
Yeah.
When he was still a member of the Shield.
Yeah.
He was incredibly over
then.
then.
Oh, my God, I know, yeah.
If they had him win the Rumble that year, you wouldn't have gotten booed.
Yeah.
I think he was the one guy in that match that could have won that match. Possibly. That wasn't Daniel Bryan, that the crowd wouldn't have crapped all over.
The central point of all this is that we could be seeing a massively over Roman Reigns right now. It's totally within the realm of possibility that had they taken a few different steps, a few different roads to get here, taking a couple of really not hugely out of the norm risks, a couple of risks, heal him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Give him one run as a heel.
Yeah.
People like that kind of stuff. People like when he's aggressive.
The moment that it seemed like the trajectory they were working with him on wasn't working, then yeah, they should turn him heel. They should turn him heel after WrestleMania 31.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And more than anything, if they've ever given him clear, consistent, long-term character direction and a character arc, that's what people want. That's what people want to see. They want to see development. They want to see growth. They want to see people do cool stuff. We could be looking at a massively over Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. It's mind-boggling how much they have botched him. You know, he wins his title. People go crazy over him after winning it from Sheamus and punching Vince McMahon and doing what he did to Triple H. And then what do? They have him defend in the Royal Rumble. Well, Triple H takes it and starts crotch chopping. And then, you know, they have a really lackluster match at Mania.
Oh, yeah.
With like a crap build. And I think that year there was a lot of injuries, but it was a crap build.
Oh, but also it was like during the course of that feud between Reigns and Triple H, it was Dean Ambrose was in the forefront.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Too often Roman Reigns got pushed to the background.
Exactly. So, and I got the feeling that Triple H was maybe trying to drag it out of Roman Reigns. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But he had been over. We've seen it before. The crowd has completely been behind him, and then creative will shoot him in the leg again. We've seen it. He's been over, and it could have been a consistently over Roman Reigns had they just taken some different steps, which leads us number one. It's been 3 years. Just why don't you just try it? Just do it.
Just do it.
It doesn't. Here's
push
the thing.
Through, and if it doesn't work out how you want it to, you got plenty of other talent you could build the company around.
Let me ask you something. How much of a rub do they really think? How much does beating Brock Lesnar really matter at this point?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. It is so overrated. It is so ridiculous to think that beating Brock Lesnar after the ridiculousness of what we've seen with his Universal title reign, it's just kind of silly to think that it's the end-all, be-all to beat Brock Lesnar for this Universal Championship. And that, oh my goodness, that's the big signifying event. That's going to change everything for somebody. And it's such a prized possession to beat the guy who beat Roman. He already beat the Undertaker, so that kind of stuff is, who cares about that?
And we've seen Brock lose. He lost to Goldberg.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
quickly.
Yes, very shockingly.
Yeah,
yeah. To a guy who's 50 years old.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
So it's really not that big. It's been 3 years since Mania 31. Just put the damn belt on the guy. Let him run with it for 6 months. And if you don't like it, have Finn take it. Have Seth take it. Have Braun take it. And then give Roman some breathing time and have him come back. There's lots of time. He's still young. There's still plenty of years in his career. He doesn't look like he's itching to go to Hollywood or anything. And you'll have a massive star. And on top of that, you can have an Attitude Era-esque roster of top guys like Finn, like Seth. Back in the day, Taker, Mankind, Triple H, Rock and Stone Cold.
Yep.
And there you go. And that's what you can do. But they're just keeping this title around. They're just holding it hostage. And I don't know what they think is the big deal about it. Beating Brock is great. It's not the end all be all.
No.
Okay? Because I don't know, Roman might still beat Brock. And then what? Big deal. That's just he's going to come out to a chorus of boos.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then when Braun wins it, people are going to be cheering that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I remember that Braun Roman feud was amazing.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Put the Universal title on line there. People are going to be cheering no matter what.
Yep.
Just move on with it. It's been 3 years.
Move on.
Put the title on the guy and let's get this thing going.
Do it already and move on to something else.
Exactly. Anyways, wow, what a great list.
Yes.
What a great thing we did. And
I wouldn't go that far.
Now we're going to, we're wonderful people.
Again, I wouldn't go that far.
Now that you're done with this episode, check out the episode we put up about the reasons why Braun Strowman should be the top guy in WWE.
Guy.
Anyways, that's it for now for Countout. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.